Welcome to an extraordinary journey, one of the most powerful, inspiring, and deeply emotional stories in the world of automobiles. This is the saga of Mercedes-Benz, a tale woven from a dream, a woman's unwavering courage, a man's ingenious invention, a dictator's dark obsession, and a brand that ultimately became a global symbol of luxury and power. This is more than just about cars. It's about pain, history, struggle, success, failure, immense courage, the shadows of war, the path to redemption, and enduring love. In this story, you will discover how a German inventor named Carl Benz brought forth something the world had never conceived, the motor car. You will learn how his wife, Bertha Benz, etched her name into history with a single, secret journey. We will explore how the company later became intertwined with Nazi Germany's war machine, utilized by Adolf Hitler himself. But crucially, you will see how Mercedes-Benz confronted its dark past, admitted its involvement, and rose again to become one of the most respected brands worldwide. And finally, how Mercedes transcended its origins to become a universal symbol of status. From the streets of Germany to the towering skylines of Dubai, from the bustling cities of India to the glamorous avenues of Hollywood, bridging history and the future. This is the real-life success story of Mercedes-Benz, a narrative that is emotional, profound, shocking, and truly unforgettable. Prepare for a journey full of surprises, invaluable lessons, and moments that will stir your soul. Our story begins in the mid-1800s in Germany, a world where horses and carriages were the sole means of travel. The idea of a machine moving without animals seemed utterly impossible, even madness to many. Yet, one man dared to dream. His name was Carl Benz, born in 1844. A mechanical engineer, intelligent, quiet, and brimming with ideas, Carl was obsessed with machines from a young age. While others played, he sketched gears, wheels, and engines driven by a deep desire to build something self-propelled, something that could replace horses. Despite widespread skepticism and the common refrain, "Why do we need a car? We already have horses," Carl persisted. He dedicated years of his life to crafting an engine that could run on fuel, not animal power. It was small, noisy, and unlike anything seen before, but it worked. In 1885, Carl Benz finally unveiled the world's first gasoline-powered automobile. It was a three-wheeled vehicle with a small engine, resembling a strange bicycle, which he named the Benz patent Motorwagen. But a significant problem arose. No one believed in it, and no one wanted to buy it. People laughed, some even called him crazy, and Carl felt defeated. It was then that someone truly special stepped forward, transforming the narrative into something magical. Carl's wife, Bertha Benz, was far more than just a spouse. She was a visionary, an unwavering believer, and the true hero of this story. In an era when women couldn't even vote, she embarked on a bold mission. One early morning in August 1888, without her husband's knowledge, she took the patent Motorwagen with her two young sons and set off on a journey that would change history. She drove from Mannheim to Forchheim, a distance of 106 kilometers. This was the world's first long-distance car journey. She had no maps, no mechanics, no gas stations, and no roads designed for cars. Yet Bertha was fearless. Along the way, she fixed the car herself using a hat pin to clear a blocked fuel pipe and a hairpin to mend a broken ignition. She stopped at a pharmacy to buy more fuel, effectively creating the first gas station in history. Villagers were astonished. Some thought she was a witch. Others couldn't believe a woman was driving a metal horse. But Bertha pressed on. After many hours, she reached her mother's house and sent a telegram to Carl. The car works. The world is ready. This journey was not just a drive. It was a powerful message to the world, and it resonated. People grew curious, came to see the car, and slowly belief began to take root. Sales started, orders flowed in, and what began in a small German garage became the foundation of Mercedes-Benz. However, the journey of Mercedes-Benz was far from complete. It was merely the beginning. Let us delve deeper. While Carl Benz labored in one part of Germany, in another city, Stuttgart, another genius was at work. His name was Gottlieb Daimler. He shared Carl's dream of building a fuel-powered vehicle, but he envisioned machines that were faster, stronger, and accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy. In 1886, around the same time Carl Benz built his car, Daimler and his partner Wilhelm Maybach were also developing a small engine. They succeeded, creating a compact, light engine dubbed the grandfather clock engine, which they installed into a bicycle, producing one of the world's first motorbikes. Later, they adapted the engine for a four-wheeled vehicle, much like Benz's. Thus, Germany had two men, separately inventing the future of transportation. One might assume Benz and Daimler collaborated from the start, but for decades, they were rivals. Benz had his company, Benz & Cie, and Daimler had his Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft, DMG. They competed with different ideas, engines, and customer bases. But something significant was about to unfold, something that would unite them forever. Now, we arrive at a very special part of this story, the name Mercedes. Where did it originate? The truth is compelling. One of DMG's most ardent supporters was Emil Jelinek, a wealthy businessman, car dealer, and racing enthusiast. He sold Daimler cars in France and Austria, but with a unique condition. He told DMG, "I will sell your cars across Europe, but the car must be named after my daughter." Her name was Mercedes Jelinek, and she was only 11 years old at the time. This is how the name Mercedes was born. In 1901, DMG launched a new car, the Mercedes 35 HP. It was elegant, powerful, and fast, revolutionizing car design with its longer wheelbase, stronger engine, and lower body. It was hailed as the first modern car and became a colossal success. Everyone began referring to DMG cars as Mercedes, and slowly, the name eclipsed the company itself. Then came World War I from 1914 to 1918. Germany was embroiled in conflict. Factories ceased producing civilian goods and shifted to manufacturing weapons, military vehicles, and aircraft engines, both Benz and Cie. And DMG had to suspend their regular car businesses to support the war effort, producing engines for tanks, trucks, submarines, and aircraft. After the war, Germany was devastated. Its economy lay in ruins, its people impoverished, and many companies faced bankruptcy. Both Benz and Daimler companies struggled for survival. In 1926, the two companies, Benz and Cie, and DMG merged to form Mercedes-Benz. They combined Carl Benz's legacy, Daimler's engineering prowess, and the Mercedes brand name. They were poised to conquer the world, and they did. Mercedes-Benz cars became synonymous with quality, engineering excellence, and luxury. However, a dark chapter loomed. We now enter the most controversial and painful part of the story. In the 1930s, Adolf Hitler ascended to power in Germany, harboring grand ambitions to restore Germany's strength by building roads, factories, and weapons, and who played a key role in manufacturing these vehicles and engines. Mercedes-Benz. The company became a crucial supplier for Hitler's government, producing military trucks, engines, and even cars for the Nazi army. Hitler himself was frequently seen in a Mercedes-Benz 770, a massive black luxury car with bulletproof glass, which became notoriously known as the Hitler car. But it worsened. During the war, many German companies, including Mercedes, exploited forced labor. They compelled prisoners, Jews, and individuals from occupied territories to work in their factories under horrific conditions. Over 40,000 people endured such conditions in Mercedes factories during World War II. This part of the story is painful and dark, but it is imperative to tell the truth. Mercedes-Benz later admitted this dark past, publicly apologized, and paid millions to assist survivors and educate future generations about this history. They did not shy away from their past. They embraced responsibility, which earned them respect. Germany lay in ruins after World War II. Cities were decimated, factories bombed, and people had lost everything. Yet, Mercedes-Benz began to rebuild from scratch. Utilizing whatever materials they could find, they started manufacturing small cars, delivery vans, and buses. In 1954, they introduced a car that captivated the world, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, featuring doors that opened like a bird's wings. It instantly became an icon. From that point, Mercedes continued its growth year after year, evolving into a symbol of luxury, power, class, and unparalleled German engineering. Presidents, kings, astute businessmen, and even Hollywood stars began to favor Mercedes. It was a transformation from war to peace, from guilt to greatness, from a dream to a global legacy. But the road ahead was not without its challenges, as the world was rapidly changing. Let us explore how Mercedes-Benz cemented its status as a global luxury icon, how it contended with formidable competitors, and how it embraced the future with electric dreams. While most companies prioritized speed or aesthetics, Mercedes focused on something more fundamental: safety. In the 1960s, Mercedes-Benz engineers posed a crucial question: what if cars could save lives, not just transport people? This led to the introduction of groundbreaking life-saving features. Crumple zones, a specialized design that absorbs impact during a crash to protect passengers, were pioneered. They championed seatbelts when many people disregarded them. Airbags became a standard feature in their cars, making Mercedes among the first to include them. The anti-lock braking system, ABS, was introduced, helping cars maintain control during sudden braking. People began to declare, if you want the safest car, buy a Mercedes, a reputation that endured for decades. In the 1970s, another facet of Mercedes-Benz emerged: luxury, power, and class. They launched their renowned S-Class, which was not merely a car, but a moving palace. It boasted plush leather seats, elegant wood, finished dashboards, smooth rides, powerful engines, quiet cabins, and advanced technology for its time. Kings, queens, presidents, actors, and CEOs all gravitated towards Mercedes-Benz as their vehicle of choice. It became the ultimate symbol of success. In many cultures, the saying went, "You know you've made it in life when you drive a Mercedes." By the 1980s, Mercedes-Benz had transcended its German origins to become a global icon. They penetrated the American market, where Mercedes became the preferred choice for Hollywood stars and Wall Street businessmen. In India, it was perceived as the car of VIPs, ministers, and film stars. In the Middle East, affluent oil families acquired fleets of Mercedes for their palaces. Across Africa, South America, and Asia, Mercedes was ubiquitous. They began establishing factories in other countries, not just Germany, and developed localized versions of their cars to suit diverse roads and climates. They were now competing globally and excelling. But then, new challengers appeared. BMW, another German company, focused on sporty driver-centric cars. Audi introduced modern design and its Quattro all-wheel drive. Lexus, from Toyota, offered Japanese luxury at more competitive prices. Jaguar, Volvo, and Cadillac all vied for a share of the luxury market. Mercedes could not afford to rest on its laurels. So what did they do? They accelerated their upgrades, more powerful engines, more stylish designs, more advanced technology, improved fuel efficiency, and expanded comfort options. They also broadened their product range, introducing SUVs like the M-Class, later known as GLE, compact luxury cars such as the C-Class and A-Class, and supercars like the SLR McLaren. In the early 2000s, Mercedes collaborated with the esteemed British carmaker McLaren to build the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, an ultra-fast, ultra-light, and super expensive supercar. It was a fusion of F1 racing technology and German engineering, becoming an icon with only a few thousand units ever produced, exclusively for the wealthiest. In the 2010s, Mercedes aimed even higher, launching Maybach, a sub-brand dedicated to super luxury. These cars surpassed even the S-Class in opulence, custom-built for billionaires with features like massage seats, refrigerators, 64-color ambient lighting, and privacy partitions. Mercedes Maybach became a favorite among celebrities like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, Middle Eastern royals, and the ultra-rich in China, Russia, and India, essentially a private jet on wheels. Today, Mercedes-Benz recognizes that the future is electric. They created a new brand, EQ, standing for electric intelligence. They launched the EQS, the electric counterpart to the S-Class, the EQE, the electric E-Class, and electric SUVs like the EQB, EQC. These vehicles feature expansive digital dashboards, voice assistants like, "Hey, Mercedes," fast charging, long battery life, and incredibly silent drives. Mercedes is investing billions to establish electric-only factories, clean energy production, and next-level AI technology, with the ambitious goal of becoming fully electric by 2030. They are unequivocally serious about this transition. One might wonder why Mercedes-Benz has thrived for over 100 years, why it is trusted more than even some tech giants. Here's the secret: they continuously improved, never satisfied with the status quo. They learned from their mistakes, confronted their dark past, and steadfastly believed in quality. They never solely chased profits, but understood their audience and evolved with the times, from fuel to hybrid to electric. Let's begin with a question. Why do world leaders, kings, billionaires, and even secret agents in films choose Mercedes-Benz? There is a profound reason. When a president visits another country, a Bollywood star is seen at the airport, a businessman enters a 5-star hotel, or James Bond selects a vehicle in a movie, the car awaiting is often a Mercedes-Benz. Because it communicates a message without uttering a single word. I have arrived. I am respected. I trust only the best. Consider a few real examples. Nelson Mandela and his Mercedes 500C after his release from 27 years in prison. The South African leader became a global beacon of peace and forgiveness. When he became president, the people of South Africa handcrafted a Mercedes-Benz 500 SE for him. Over 60 workers at the Mercedes-Benz factory in East London, South Africa, came together to build this car, specifically for him, not with machines, but entirely by hand, to honor him. This car, they said, was not made by Mercedes, but by the people for the man who brought peace to their country. It was more than a car, it was a symbol of hope. Princess Diana's secret Mercedes in 1994, Princess Diana, one of history's most beloved figures, did something unprecedented for a British royal. She started driving a Mercedes-Benz SU80. This shocked the British media, as royals were expected to drive only British brands like Rolls-Royce or Jaguar. But Diana chose Mercedes for its safety, comfort, and the sense of freedom it offered. Due to public pressure, she eventually had to return the car. Still, it demonstrated to the world that Mercedes stood not just for power, but also for protection. Shah Rukh Khan, the king of Bollywood, once shared in an interview, "I used to see big men in big cars and dream that maybe one day I'll have one." Today, his Mercedes Maybach S580 is among the most luxurious cars in India. This journey, from a middle-class boy in Delhi to a man sitting in a Maybach, is not just about success. It's about how a car becomes an integral part of one's life story. Now, here's what truly makes Mercedes powerful. It's not only cherished by kings and celebrities, but also trusted by families, taxi drivers, doctors, and everyday people who prioritize safety and reliability. Let me share a story. In 2012, a father in Germany was driving his C-Class with his 2 young children in the back seat en route to a birthday party. Suddenly, an oncoming truck lost control and crashed directly into their car. The vehicle was destroyed, its front smashed, and onlookers believed no one could have survived such an impact. But when rescuers arrived, all 3 were alive. Why? Because the car was equipped with side airbags, crumple zones, reinforced steel, child seat protections, and its structure remained strong. When the father emerged, holding his crying children, he looked at the wrecked car and wept, not from pain, but from the profound realization that Mercedes had saved his entire world. In 2016, Mercedes launched MBUX, Mercedes-Benz User Experience, an AI-powered voice assistant integrated into the car. Now, one could simply say, "Hey, Mercedes, I'm cold," and the car would adjust the heat. "Hey, Mercedes, take me to the nearest petrol station, and it would provide navigation. Do you think it ends here? No. Mercedes is actively working on flying cars with Volocopter, a Mercedes partner. They are developing self-driving cars using AI and satellite GPS, biometric seats that monitor stress, eco-friendly factories striving for zero carbon emissions, and cars capable of projecting movies onto the windshield. They are creating vehicles that are not just transportation, but spaceships for the modern world. Now, it's time to delve deeper into the true meaning behind the logo, the dark chapters they never hide from, their current net worth, and the powerful life lessons this brand imparts. You've seen the three-pointed star encircled within a ring. It appears simple, yet it stands as one of the most potent brand symbols globally. But what does it signify? 3 points, 3 worlds, land, air, sea. Indeed, when the logo was conceived, Daimler, one of the original founders, declared, "Our engines will rule the land, the air, and the sea." It was not merely a dream, it was a promise. And today, Mercedes manufactures luxury cars as land, has partnered in aircraft and helicopters sea air, and even produces marine engines sea seaf. That tiny logo encapsulates a colossal vision. Nothing is impossible. Let's discuss numbers. The company is part of Mercedes-Benz Group AG, formerly Daimler AG, one of the wealthiest and most respected companies in the world. Here's what you should know. Its brand value in 2025 is estimated at over 60 billion USD. Annual revenue in 2024 is approximately 106.55 billion US. It employs over 170,000 people globally. More than 2.4 million vehicles were sold in 2024. The net worth of Mercedes-Benz Group is estimated between 100 to 120 billion USD. They are consistently ranked among the top 10 most valuable car brands globally, competing with giants like Toyota, Tesla, and BMW. But more significant than money, they are rich in trust, loyalty, and an impeccable reputation. Every major name has a past, and Mercedes does not shy away from theirs. They accept, apologize, and educate. During World War II, Mercedes factories were utilized by the Nazi government, and they also employed forced labor, including prisoners and war victims, to construct engines and vehicles. This is a dark truth. However, unlike many companies, Mercedes-Benz publicly apologized, donated millions to Holocaust survivor funds, erected memorials within their factories, and transparently shared all historical records. They teach us that success is meaningless without humanity. Here are some powerful words from Mercedes over the years. The best or nothing. Safety is not just technology, it's responsibility. Luxury is not about price. It's about how you feel. And perhaps the best one, we don't sell cars. In May 2022, Mercedes-Benz sold a special ultra-rare car, a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe, for an astonishing $143 million. Yes, it became the most expensive car ever sold in world history. Why? Because it was not merely a car, it was a masterpiece of art, history, and engineering genius on wheels. And only 2 units were ever made.